maybe I'm wrong, but now I'm. This is all feel. This is one of the few fights where I can't really give you a clear answer. So I just feel like JDM.
All right, favorite. Islam's great. Him moving up, I still think he's a nightmare for a lot of the people in the division, but I think JDM can do it.
Só que eu acho que o Isa vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte. É um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta. Mas se deixar o Isla agarrar e botar pra baixo, é o time.
When Craig Jones came in and started working with them Australian guys, they started doing things a little bit differently. And him working with Jack Della Maddalena, you know, he's escaping differently.
The experts have spoken. Here's how fighters and analysts are predicting the Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena showdown. Charles Oliveira stirred up the MMA world with his bold prediction, claiming Islam Makhachev won't waste a second standing with Jack Della Maddalena, kick him down and dominate from the mat. The former UFC champion's statement instantly lit up discussions, highlighting just how unpredictable this fight could be. Having felt Makhachev's ground control firsthand, Oliveira's words carry weight, and when he points to wrestling as the key, fans know it's more than just talk. Oliveira keeps his prediction straightforward. After sharing the octagon with Makhachev, he knows the suffocating pressure the Dagestani brings. To him, Maddalena's striking won't change much, because this fight, like so many before, will hinge on control, pressure, and relentless takedowns. In Oliveira's eyes, Makhachev won't need a new plan. He'll just stick to the blueprint that always works.
Quem que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que... Ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te finalizar, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal.
Oliveira acknowledges Maddalena's sharp boxing, movement, and early knockout power, but he believes it won't last long once Makhachev closes the gap. In his view, the moment Islam grabs hold, momentum shifts instantly. Speaking from experience, Oliveira's certainty has left fans questioning whether Maddalena can really keep the fight from turning into Makhachev's kind of battle.
Só que eu acho que o Isa vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte. É um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta. Mas se deixar o Isla agarrar e botar pra baixo, é o time.
Still, not everyone is convinced. Veteran contender Beneil Dariush isn't buying that Makhachev's usual dominance ensures another win. When asked who he sees leaving Madison Square Garden with the belt, Dariush leaned toward Jack Della Maddalena. He acknowledged Islam's skill, but pointed to size as the real variable, believing JDM's natural welterweight build and tireless pace might turn the tide once the fight hits the later rounds.
I'm gonna lean now towards JDM.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like the size will make a difference. Cardio-wise, JDM has great cardio. Maybe I'm wrong, but now I'm. This is all feel. This is one of the few fights where I can't really give you a clear answer. So I just feel like JDM.
Dariush noted that Jack's gas tank is elite. He performs best when the fight turns into a high-paced war. Though he praised Makhachev's technical skill and grappling control, he admitted there's something about JDM that makes an upset feel possible. It was a daring prediction, one that instantly divided opinions, and Dariush wasn't the only one thinking that way.
He's a big guy. I think he's going to fill into that weight. He's a really big 155er. So I think he's going to... His lifestyle outside of training camp is going to be a little more comfortable, and he'll fill into that weight class no problem. He's going to be he could be champion there for sure.
How do you think he does against JDM?
I think the beginning of the fight's going to tell the story, like how well JDM does at getting up, how well JDM does at keeping Islam off of his feet, off of his legs, off of the cage. It's tough to call that because JDM's a big guy, athletic. I'm excited about that. A lot of fun fights in the future.
It's not just Dariush making confident predictions. Omar Nurmagomedov has doubled down too. He predicts Islam will dominate once again, saying his teammate is in peak form, sharper than ever, and fully prepared for every scenario. According to Umar, Islam's strategic mindset and versatility make him the clear favorite to keep the belt.
Islam in amazing shape, and this guy, very smart fighter, and you know, I'm his fan, and he have, you know, he don't have some just one plan for fight, and he have plan A, B, C, and like all alphabet, you know, DEA, everything, you know, like if something not he couldn't do, he gonna try other one not good, he have next plan, you know. And he's amazing fighter, and he's amazing friend, brother, and I think he will take this belt. I think he deserves.
Umar Nurmagomedov also shared insights on Islam's impressive physical evolution. He revealed that moving up to welterweight and adding real size was a tough process early on, but the transformation is now undeniable. Umar believes Islam has become stronger, quicker, and more explosive than ever. At this point, Makhachev isn't just prepared for battle, he's physically engineered for it.
He looks very good now. Do you think he's like very built well for welterweight?
Yes, he become a bigger, you know, now he have more power, more than ever, and I think he's ready.
Adding to the mix, Luke Rockhold also weighed in with his prediction. He acknowledged that Jack Della Maddalena can't match Islam's wrestling level, yet he still sees him as a genuine threat. Rockhold believes that despite the skill gap on the ground, Jack's toughness and striking could still make things dangerous for Makhachev.
Do you see him beating JDM to win that welterweight title?
That's a tough fight. That's a very tough fight. It's going to be interesting. You know, I think those are my three favorite fighters in the UFC right now. We go Islam, Topuria, and JDM. He's fun to watch. So, I mean, that's going to be a great fight. You know, he's no slouch at wrestling, but you have a guy that's wrestled his whole life and grappled his whole life versus JDM, who's kind of like, he's secondary on that, but, you know, you never know. He's a bigger guy. So, you know, we'll see how Islam, how he bulks up and how he looks. He looks a lot bigger than what I remember. I used to train with him forever. So, I mean, he's definitely grown. You know, we'll see how he carries the weight.
Merab Dvalishvili also gave his take on the matchup, admitting it's far from an easy fight for Islam. Still, he's confident the Dagestani champion can rise to the occasion once again. Merab described it as a tough but manageable challenge, emphasizing that Makhachev's wrestling and sense of timing make him a nightmare to figure out.
You mentioned Islam. He's moving up to 170. Do you think that he gets the job done and wins that title, or do you think JDM retains?
It's gonna be hard for him, but it's possible to Islam Makhachev wins the second belt. JDM is great fighter, great striker, but Islam is tricky. He has a good wrestling, and he's southpaw. He don't get hits, but he takes people down and he mauls people down.
He also pointed out that Islam would likely study Jack's previous fight with Bilal Muhammad and make the right adjustments. Even so, the danger remains. Jack's explosive hands, crisp movement, and composure under pressure make him a serious threat, which explains why this matchup has analysts so divided.
We all see the JDM Bilal Muhammad's fight, and then I'm sure Islam will take lots of lessons from this fight, and maybe Islam will make some adjustment. It's possible. It's gonna be hard, but Islam can win the second belt.
Dan Hardy, who studied both fighters closely, offered a more technical perspective. A longtime admirer of JDM's striking, Hardy believes the real difference this time lies in Makhachev's jump to welterweight. In his view, Islam is entering the division at just the right moment, free from extreme weight cuts and finally able to showcase his full strength. Hardy predicts this version of Makhachev will be his most powerful and dangerous yet.
Man, I've been high on JDM for a long time. You know, I remember doing interviews back when Ngannou was crossing over to boxing, and people were talking about who's got the best hands in MMA, and I was saying JDM at the time. I mean, his boxing's always impressed me. But at this point, I feel like Islam's moving up a weight class at the right time. You know, there are a lot of fighters that stay in a weight class for too long, and they seem to kind of stifle their physical growth. I don't think Islam can stay healthy and stay in that lightweight division for any longer, and I think right now he's allowed himself to move into a division where his body's just going to grow into it. He's going to be incredibly powerful.
Hardy expects the fight to start as a close striking contest, with Islam's kicks and constant pressure gradually shifting momentum his way. As the rounds progress, he predicts Makhachev's grappling will take over, potentially ending with a submission late in the fight. In Hardy's eyes, Islam's skill set is simply too polished, too relentless, and too strategic for anyone to crack easily.
You know, I've been having the similar kind of conversation in my head with Crawford coming up against Canelo as well, you know what I mean? Like, what's Crawford going to look like going up a weight? And I think his body's ready to do it, same as Islam. And I just think Islam's all-round game is so problematic for any single fighter. I see him taking it, and I can see him probably a 50-50 striking exchange, Makhachev winning with a kicking advantage, but then he's grappling and his wrestling taking over, probably winning by sub in the championship rounds.
Still, opinions remain divided. Robert Whitaker, a man familiar with elite competition, believes Jack Della Maddalena brings something different, that unteachable X factor. He sees Jack's determination, toughness, and gas tank as potential game changers. While Whitaker expects Islam to lean on his kicks and wrestling, he cautions that any mistake could cost him. He pointed out that even though Islam holds the wrestling edge, Jack's sharp counters and high-paced striking make him a real threat in those chaotic exchanges.
I'm going to go Jack. I think he has the gut, the grit, the determination to fight the takedown attacks that Islam is going to go for. And I think in a striking fight, straight up, Jack is better. I think he wins in the hand. I don't think Islam is going to be as like gun-ho with the takedowns as everybody believes, because Jack has that level of offense off his back. Jack has nothing to lose. And I think Islam's got everything to lose. He's the hottest prospect right now in MMA.
Sean Brady offered a different angle, admitting he's rooting for Islam, mainly because he hopes to fight him someday. But from an analytical standpoint, Brady's pick is Jack. He respects Makhachev's dominance, but believes JDM's confidence and all-around ability make him a serious threat. To Brady, this feels like the perfect dangerous underdog scenario. A fighter with no pressure and everything on the line.
Selfishly for me, I would want Islam to win because I want to fight Islam as for a legacy thing. And I think I can beat Islam. I think I can beat anybody in the world. And I want to grapple. I want my grappling to go against his grappling and see who's better. You know, I really would love for that to play out. But if I had to pick, and I know Jack would be the underdog, I would pick Jack.
Even Daniel Cormier, known for supporting his Dagestani teammates, offered a surprisingly even-handed assessment. He pointed out that Islam's added size and strength are clear advantages, but cautioned that Jack's toughness and defensive awareness could keep things much closer than most expect.
JDM don't wrestle, but he was defending well, and he puts damage on you.
Off rip.
Starts putting damage on you, and he can box.
So how do you see that fight with him and Islam? Does he have the ability to beat a guy like Islam?
He'll get takedown attempts coming at him very early. This time. The last fight, he didn't have to deal with that when he was fresh. If Islam can start to pressure him early and take him down early, or even just make him wrestle, he might struggle. I don't know that he's ever felt anything like he's going to feel, because it's not going to be double legs and single legs with Islam. It's going to be him playing with his feet, tripping him, moving around on the octagon side, doing things that he don't recognize as freely.
But she didn't answer the question.
The problem is, I can only give you that because I can't truly make a prediction. The job doesn't allow it.
Meanwhile, Michael Bisping didn't hold back, admitting he's surprised by how heavily the odds favor Islam. He argued that labeling Makhachev as such a clear favorite overlooks JDM's rise and consistency. Bisping highlighted Jack's 18-fight win streak and dominant showing against Bilal as evidence that the Aussie has become far more than just a dangerous striker. He's now a fully rounded mixed martial artist.
It's an interesting fight because the crazy thing is that Islam Makhachev is quite a sizable favorite according to DraftKings, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure I saw that online earlier this morning. And I think that's a little bit disrespectful to Jack Della Maddalena. The man's on an 18-fight winning streak. He just beat Bilal Muhammad. He defended all the takedowns there. He's beaten grapplers before in the past. But Bilal Muhammad was a perfect warm-up fight for Islam Makhachev.
Colby Covington also shared his thoughts, taking a measured stance on the matchup. He admitted Islam could be undersized moving up from lightweight, but argued that his overall skill set more than makes up for it. While acknowledging JDM's size advantage, Covington still sided with Makhachev, citing his unmatched control, composure, and fight IQ. For Colby, Islam's discipline and intelligence are what ultimately separate him from the rest.
Yeah, it's an interesting fight. I'm excited to see how it goes. You know, Islam, is a lightweight. He's going to be a little smaller in the fight, but he's a well-rounded fighter. So, if he's able to take down JDM and control him, he could definitely get the job done. But it's going to be interesting to see how the size advantage plays a difference in the fight.
Not everyone is counting JDM out. Alexander Volkanovski, who's felt Makhachev's power firsthand, still decided to back his fellow Aussie. He believes Jack's striking, pressure, and improved takedown defense have evolved massively since the Bilal Muhammad bout. In Volkanovski's eyes, that fight shaped JDM into a complete, composed fighter who now understands exactly how to deal with elite grapplers.
I mean, you can't doubt him. Look, he's a welterweight, and then you've got Bilal, who's a grappler, wrestler. Look how he handled that. And then you know he's a beast on the feet. And then he's early. And I guarantee you from that fight, his confidence in grappling and takedown defense has just gone to a whole nother level.
Volkanovski praised Jack's boxing as outstanding and even suggested that if Islam fails to adjust to the pace and power, a finish could be on the cards.
So he's going to be an absolute nightmare. So it'll be good. I'm hoping to get some training with him for this one as well. But we'll tee something up for sure. But I mean, JDM, mate, he's a weapon. So I mean, I know that Islam's not taking this one lightly. So and he shouldn't.
Do you believe he might be able to stop Islam going up to this weight class?
Stop him now. I mean, look, JDM's boxing and pressure that he can do, incredible. So I definitely can get a finish.
All right, favorite team?
Islam's great. Him moving up, I still think he's a nightmare for a lot of the people in the division, but I think JDM can do it.
Jack Della Maddalena's head coach also spoke up, ensuring his fighter's confidence was clear. He reaffirmed that Jack is fully prepared for the challenge and unfazed by Makhachev's aura. According to him, the focus has been on preparation, endless drills, improved takedown defense, and mastering angles to let Jack's striking flow at will.
Big respect coming from Islam's team going into this one, and Khabib even acknowledged that he started following JDM a while back, knowing that potentially he'd be fighting Islam.
You know, they've got to this level because they know the sport and they know the game, and Islam and his team have the utmost respect for Jack, as we do for them. Islam is a phenomenal fighter. He's pound for pound #1 in the world.
The coach believes Maddalena's mentality and sharp striking could be the difference maker, especially during close exchanges. He pointed out specific openings in Makhachev's approach when the champion moves forward to engage. His confidence reignited belief among JDM supporters that this matchup might be far closer than expected. In his view, Maddalena has the tools to land the kind of clean shot that can instantly shift the fight, regardless of Makhachev's grappling strength.
He's made light work of just about everybody that's ever gone before him. The respect is mutual, and Jack's always asked me for the toughest fights he can possibly have. Jack does better the higher up of the standard is. You know, he raises his game to the level that he's fighting against, and I really believe that everyone's going to see the best version of Jack.
Many analysts have weighed in, including former UFC fighter and veteran coach Din Thomas, who believes Jack's real advantage lies in his work with jiu-jitsu ace Craig Jones. Jones was instrumental in helping Volkanovski nearly dethrone Makhachev and also played a key role in Jack's preparation for Bilal Muhammad. Thomas thinks that partnership will pay off again, allowing Jack to keep the fight standing. He predicts Maddalena might drop some early rounds, but will gradually stuff takedowns, wear Islam down, and eventually turn it into the kind of striking battle that favors the Aussie.
And I think, you know, Craig Jones is an amazing jiu-jitsu player, and he's a really smart guy.
Yeah.
And he's been able to figure out things and just be more forward thinking. And he said, I was listening to something that he said recently about how everybody does the same thing. And this is something I've been saying for years. Like, we've learned in these last couple of years, we've gotten so far away from jiu-jitsu that we've learned how to do jiu-jitsu from wrestlers. And it hasn't been working out because it just turns into kind of like a wrestling match.
Mm-hmm.
But when Craig Jones came in and started working with them Australian guys, they started doing things a little bit differently. And him working with Jack Della Maddalena, you know, he's escaping differently.
So that is all from us today. When the cage door closes, all the talk ends, and only skill, heart, and will remain. Whether Islam Makhachev cements his legacy or Jack Della Maddalena shocks the world, this fight promises fireworks. Don't miss a second. Like, comment, and subscribe for all the latest breakdowns, predictions, and fight night drama.